It's been a week of persevering. I can't remember if it was last week I did a recording sharing that I was feeling burned out, and it's a really sunny day today, and I'm going to try and get outside for a little bit after recording this, and may give me a chance to upload it as well. I was feeling really tired today. I haven't been sleeping well. That's been quite consistent. Just been waking up in the middle of the night quite often, and I think this morning it just took a toll on me, in that I couldn't get myself up when my alarm went off, or I kind of had to sort of stay in bed and try and sleep more, which is not happened in a long time. I think previously, even exhausted as I've been able to sort of get myself up and shower and get outside, which has been my routine for the last several weeks or more, and that's slowly maybe slipping away is too harsh, but it's hard to maintain. So I didn't get out sort of first thing in the morning, but sort of later on I walked to get groceries. And it's hard to keep perspective of things as well, because it feels like, for me to walk to get groceries is always an accomplishment, but it gets lost in the routine of things, and as I been trying to do more and more things, like see people and keep up with writing, going to the library and getting out to the park to exercise, sometimes it feels like how can I word it? I guess sometimes you feel like you have to do all of those things to feel like you've done something productive, or you've had a good day, or I guess the standards get raised, where before it's kind of back to basics of just sort of waking up and trying to shower and trying to have 3 meals a day, or some sort of healthy nutrition. I mentioned before about cycles, and it feels like it's kind of what's happening now, where the past month I've built up this sort of routine and this sort of healthy activities. I've been putting in the effort and striving, and feels like it's collapsing in some ways, but not completely, but it's definitely far from solid. I'm kind of clinging on a little bit as well, and maybe that's okay. Maybe that's, it's never going to be a straight line of things. So even though I'm not able to sort of maintain the consistency of what I've been doing the last few weeks, that maybe in the remains of what is collapsing a little bit, there's still a bit more of a foundation that wasn't there before. So, and it's looking at things is like a kind of marathon as well, looking at just even amidst the sort of cycles of elevation of doing lots of activities, routines being built, and then that sort of collapsing again. Each time it's still there's a bit more of a foundation left over, so it's not like that's one way to try and see things, and it's hard to know even if that's true really, because again it's for me it feels impossible to really get a perspective on how I am with things, and it feels like without that it's really hard to, I think it just makes it really hard to know if I'm improving, if I'm making progress, or so when I left this morning to get groceries, I felt really like physically exhausted. I sort of slowly walked home, just using my last bits of energy really. As I was walking, I was just thinking to myself, am I going to make it back home? Do I have to like put the grocery bags down and stand for a few minutes just to gather some more energy? And I feel like flexibility is really important to have. So, for instance, today I've not done too much besides sort of go out and get groceries, and I made a little bit of lunch as well. What was I going to say? Yeah, flexibility. So it's kind of not having, which is what I'm used to doing, is like having that black and white thinking. So for instance, today, it's so easy to take today and think, okay, that's how things are going to be then, and the next day and the next day, versus just doing whatever I can do today for myself, whether it's, if I do decide to write and read, do that for a few minutes, or if I do make it to the park, or even if I don't, and that's kind of how it is. It's try not to be hard on myself as well. I think the difficulty in this is always trying to measure things and see progress, and that just takes a lot of mental energy really. So it feels like I've got some sort of healthy activities I can do, healthy routines of waking up and going to sleep, and it's just sometimes just feels a case of just trying to do the best I can each day with those sets of activities. Some days I may do everything, and other days I may do less. Some days I may do none of them, but maybe the overall direction I'm heading in, it seems to be I'm kind of pointing in that direction to make progress, or to equip myself to minimize these kind of mental health symptoms. So and an interesting word is polarizing. I feel like I relate to that a lot, where some days recently I feel so vulnerable or so drained where I can't it's really hard to look at my phone or to check in with my phone or to think about the activities I did the day before or the previous day. They seem unbearable. For instance, going out to a cafe to write or social interaction is always, it can be polarizing sometimes as well, to even go out to the supermarket or I think I used an analogy in my last counselling session or maybe my counselling session, or maybe I used it elsewhere as well, speaking to somebody, but it's almost like when on the beach, the kind of when the waves come in, sort of wash away, it sort of smooths out the surface or washes away anything that was on the sand previously, and it feels like that kind of happens on days where I'm feeling extremely low and the polarization happens, where I could have had a good day yesterday, then suddenly today it's all sort of washed away a little bit. I'm feeling like that a little bit now. Maybe a lot of that is to do with my sleep and my physical, mental energy right now, which feels it's really quite low. I'm also still feeling the effects of what is most likely a concussion, which is strange to say. So I always relate that word to like a car accident or kind of like sports or something. But I got it in the most non-dramatic way, where actually I was pulling groceries away about a week ago, and as I stood up, the cabinet door was open, so I stood up and I banged kind of probably full force, because it's funny when we do movements and stuff, you don't realise the force behind them until like we hit something or make contact. So I kind of hit my head on the corner of the cabinet door, and I've got still feel like the scab there, or it's like a little cut. I'm still feeling the effects of that. Maybe that's got something to do with my physical energy as well. Maybe it's kind of affecting me more than I realise, but I've done well in the past week to sort of persevere and see friends and family, because I feel like I've tried to be sensible in getting rest on some days, which enables me to see people, so I'm not just sort of completely isolated, which is, I think it's really important that I can try and see people. And I have had some productive days this past week where I've had some productive time with sort of writing projects and putting in my time as well, and also focusing on my nutrition a bit more. I've not really had, I think in this past week I haven't really been having a lot of unhealthy food. It's funny, I think it was maybe early last week I went on this what I've sort of dubbed as a cheese bender. So I bought loads of cheese, and I think maybe it was I think I read online something about how certain types of cheeses are okay for those who are lactose intolerant, which is me, part of like IBS that I'm dealing with as well. So I kind of was wanting to eat junk food, or I got a whole bunch of cheeses and some pizza bases, and it just made me feel sick. Not because I had so much of it, just because I haven't had cheese in a long time, and realizing that it still has some effect on my IBS, but also I just didn't enjoy the taste of it, and also I was just aware of where it came from, the source of it, and that just made me feel like I didn't want to eat that anymore. And also kind of given up eating sort of like it's almost I don't know if you call it like fake meat or soy sort of like burgers or sausages and things like that, because it just felt really like bloated. It kind of didn't feel good for my body, and I think I was reading up on it as well, where a lot of that is sort of processed, sort of highly processed to make it the way it is. So it's not too healthy. So it feels like a lot of things receding in terms of my diet, which makes it challenging as well, because I've always used food as an outlet to help stabilize, or a bit of comfort. It's my kind of only thing, since I don't drink or anything, or so yeah, it's kind of my only outlet. I feel really out of it as well, and even talking now, it's a lot of the time vlogs are a struggle for me at times. It probably comes across in that way, but yeah, I'm gonna really feel like sort of going outside. So I may have to try and find reasons to do that, or I may try and again not be too hard on myself if I can't go outside to upload this. But feels like I've not got any energy left to push myself for stuff. Like to get groceries this morning, and I made some jacket potatoes for lunch and had that with some pre-packed salad, and it really wasn't that nice. I think so I put too much salt on the potatoes, or I bought some vegan salad cream, and not sure if I enjoyed the taste of it, and I probably added too much of that on. For some reason the salad didn't taste nice either, so I don't know. I've had that meal before, and I enjoyed it, but this time maybe my appetite's just really funny today, where I'm just So yeah, I've just been watching sort of Netflix and working my way through Shameless, the US version of it, and it's weird. I'm not sure. I guess part of me is definitely enjoying it, but it's really quite edgy as well. It's probably too edgy for me. It's too kind of intense to watch, but I just find myself watching it as just something to do, something to focus on, really. And I'm definitely trying to balance my energy and my this sort of concussion as well, where I can feel it now. My head is really starting to hurt, and so I'm going to try not to. I'm going to have to kind of take it easy with writing and reading, as much as I kind of want to try and keep that up. It's really hard to kind of know how much if I'm pushing myself too much. So yeah, I think clinging on to a good description right now. Um, and it's frustrating as well. Like part of me feels a bit angry that I'm still kind of at this stage, after putting in lots of effort to help myself and build a little bit of a routine. It's kind of, this is how I'm feeling today, and it's it's just frustrating. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I guess nothing's coming to mind. Yeah, so the rest of the day I'll probably just continue maybe watching some Netflix, and maybe I can try and do even just 5 minutes of reading just to give myself a break. Maybe I should not do any writing today. Part of me, I don't know if I have the energy to do so, and maybe it's a good idea not to tax my brain or cause a bit more stress. I'm going to try and make some pasta tonight. I've got a little bit of tinned tomatoes left over from making a meal a few days ago, so I want to try not to waste that. So this morning I bought some pasta sauce, and I've got some frozen mixed veg, which is not always that nice really, but yeah, I was gonna bake some tofu, but I don't have the energy to, so I'm just gonna have the pasta with some mixed veg, and hopefully it tastes okay. Usually, that pasta usually tastes really bland, so I'm gonna have to try and add some flavour to it some ways, especially since my appetite is the way it is. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can sort of have the energy to do that tonight, and so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, no, I definitely can do better for my evening routine for sleep, because recently I've just been watching Netflix right up until bedtime, or sometimes I go on YouTube and watch some reaction videos for sort of movie and TV series reaction videos, and it's I think it would definitely benefit by having a bit of time before bed when I'm not sort of fully engaged in watching something. And maybe if I haven't watched ASMR in a long while, so something like that would be a lot better to watch before bed to sort of calm things down and to wind down to. So maybe I'm going to try and keep that intention for tonight. I'm hoping my sort of getting up late today, I've sort of ended up getting out of bed at like just after 9. So I was grateful I've probably got a tiny bit of rest during those extra couple of hours. So I'm hoping it doesn't disturb my sleep tonight. I hope it doesn't. Yeah, I've got counselling tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. And then I'm meeting a friend at a library on Fridays to do some writing. So that's quite a healthy sort of new thing I've been trying to maintain and keep up. So I'm going to try and do that tomorrow. Yeah, and hopefully that will just getting outside and doing those things hopefully will make will help for tomorrow and tonight, or today and this evening, just to be kind to myself and take things slow and let go of expectations, and realize probably that's whatever I've managed to do today, that's all I could manage to do. So yeah, maybe I'll try and check in tomorrow. I know I said this last time that I'm going to try and record a bit more regularly again, and maybe with this concussion thing as well, I've just been I think a lot of it also, I've been really putting in a lot of sort of effort to do my writing as well, so sometimes it's hard to do multiple things, or all the energy gets drained from that. So but maybe I would like to just do little recordings, daily check-ins if I can, so I'll set that as another intention. Yeah, don't think I'll make it outside today. I just don't have the strength to get myself up and get changed and go outside. And I think because it's a really nice day, it's probably going to be quite busy at the park, and then I think it's now late afternoon, so people are like finishing school and work and stuff, so yeah, it's going to be quite busy there. So I'm going to try and be okay with that, not being able to go outside. Maybe I can open a window. That's a bit of a big compromise. Then a little bit more fresh air, especially since the sun's coming in from here. So hopefully it won't be too too cold. Yeah. So yeah, that's it.